Right guys, Mark Crossfield here, in my hands today, Callaway Big Bertha Fusion driver. This driver we're going for control, a bit more control, with a little bit more control. They are going the other way a bit more with this driver in theory. Now we've got some real ball data as well, so we'll see how much control we're gaining, stroke out distance we're sacrificing or not. Let's show you what the Fusion Big Bertha driver is all about. Let's get stuck in. Right, I very rarely do this, but we're going to start with the Big Bertha Fusion driver, but I just can't get this line in my head, so I'm going to have to read it. It is a fuses a titanium exo cage with ultra lightweight triaxial carbon crown and sole. Exo cage, triaxles, the lot. Basically, we're getting a very lightweight material which allows them then to put the heavy weight, so the weight they gain, they don't just chuck it away, they then move it deep and far back as possible. Trying to get that weight as far back off the face in the center will help with any twists, help keep ball speeds across that face, keeping you in theory more consistent. We're also getting the changeable neck, which we've seen on Callaway clubs for quite a while now, where you can dial in the lofts and the lies a little bit for direction. And we're also getting a 1 inch under, inch shorter, 44.5 inch club. Now the biggest thing, noticeable things when you pick this club up, it feels quite light. The head shape, it's almost triangular, which is quite unique. And the more I look at it, actually, the more I love it. And it feels really short. Now what happens when I hit this club, and I think they're doing quite clever things with this, it feels short, it feels light, and it feels like I can just jump all over it. It feels like I can just nail this. Now we've got some real ball data and we'll show you the numbers in a second. Now I have done tests with different length drivers and I don't personally see much gains in direction from long ones to short clubs like this. I can deliver my face to path numbers quite well, even if you add length. And often when you add length, it does make me feel like I'm going to hit the ball further. So I'm really intrigued to see what the numbers on this one coming out shorter are like, because if this was going as long as anything else out there, at this length, I don't know why I wouldn't use it. Now, I've done tests also with amateurs and students of mine where we shorten shafts, and their centerness of strike often, not always and not for everyone, but a lot of the time does improve, and their ability to move the strike on the face to order improves, which again gives them more consistency on direction and a bit of distance. So I'm all for this if you're not losing any distance. Now we also get the speed step on top, which I've got on my XR Pro, and you see it in lots of the other Callaway drivers. I personally don't see any differences in any of my ball speeds and what have you with that, but it's there for anyone who wants the old aerodynamic superbness. It's the exo cage, that's what it's about for me. I'm all about the exo cage, I always have been. Been asking for triaxial and exo cages in my drivers for years. It makes quite a loud sound, quite a loud ting. I'm worried about how high it might go with that weight set so deep and far back. Wasn't sure of the triangular shape when I first got this club, but I'm actually starting to love it. I'm actually starting to really like the look of it, and I don't know if that's just because of the length of the shaft, which is then making me feel comfortable and liking the look of that. Got a black top, slightly greyer face, and then you see this graphite pattern on top as well. Looks pretty funky, looks pretty nice. I can give one more hit and I want to see these numbers. I want to see what this club is doing. I could bag this one quite easily at the moment. I mean, I just feel I can jump all over this. Feels like a, you know, Bryson with his same length clubs, it feels like a blooming 7-iron almost, because it feels that much shorter, even though it isn't, it's only an inch, to modern day drivers. Let's check these numbers out. Right, I've tested this club on a golf course as well, which you would have seen with some of the pictures coming through. We captured those pictures in Switzerland and Cran, Montana when I was there filming recently. Now the numbers there, I looked at a few numbers there as well, but I was keen to just test it in the UK as well. I know my machine shouldn't be picking up any kind of different in altitudes as well, but I was seeing bigger differences. I was surprised how far it was going on the course when I tested it. Now look, this is UK numbers, topping out 163, bottoming down at topping out at 263, bottoming out at 249, averaging 254. So my normal 262, it's not far off it. Again, day to day changing. The fact that I'm getting it up there at 262 is good. Average spin at 2.5, lowest spin 1.9, highest spin going up there around 2.9. Again, that's my performance. A few 37 in the air, 37 yards, so it may be going a little high. I probably could just crank the loft down a little bit to optimize. I'm impressed with a driver that feels launching at 13.5, top launch there was what, 14.7. They're pretty good numbers for a driver that's an inch shorter. I think if I hit enough decent shots with that club, I would get them to my 262 carry, but standing over it, with the weight feeling of it, the shortness of it, the largeness of the head, I do feel like I could just stand there and belt it as hard as I want and feel quite comfortable. With a longer driver, I feel maybe that I might not be able to control the face if I'm swinging kind of out my boots at it a little bit more. Quite impressed with those numbers, quite impressed with the looks. We'll do more tests with this club because I want to get it on Coach Lockie to see if he can hit the planet with it. Will that inch short help him or not? Interesting one. Not sure any length can help that boy, but we'll see. But 254, shorter length, I like the look. Sounds a little bit loud, but I don't mind that. Maybe you go and test it. Definitely one to have a go. I think a lot of people will be quite intrigued with that shorter shaft. It'll feel very different in your hands. Control, control, control with this one, and still decent distance. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Periscope, all the normal social places. Also, come and visit my new website, markcrossfieldgolf.com. See you over there.